Astrology. This is the birth chart for Nicola Coughlan, and there is no birth time for her, so she is looks like for sure she's a Taurus moon and a sun in Capricorn. And again, I don't know much about her. I just did Luke Newton's chart, didn't know anything about him, don't know really anything about her. But for this one, I did have to. It was just interesting, and I had to look at a short interview with her. I saw her and Luke Newton doing some kind of film session, and it does look like they're from the UK, which is interesting because I find with this chart, you see the first thing that jumps out is you have again, we don't know the rising, but we have the sun and the moon and earth. And often, if you look at some of these, if you're watching these celebrity readings I do for actors and actresses, you just don't see that much earth. You usually see a lot of Leo, Pisces for sure, fire. Now she does have some fire with the Venus and Saturn here and Uranus and Sagittarius. And yeah, so I had to think to think about this in maybe in a little bit different way to find this idea that she's an actor and actress. And I was going to say about the UK, it seems like the movies there, because I've watched a few movies there. I'm not like, this isn't science or definitive research, but I watched the few movies I watched, I really enjoyed because it seems like they're more, the movies were more based on thinking and like, I don't know, they were just more interesting. Like you had to be interested in what they had to say and the chemistry and stuff like that versus like the star power of Leo and Pisces and things like that. For me, I find that interesting. For as being having a lot of air in my chart. And I'm not sure that's the case for this person, but just a thought that I had. So we have here the Sun in Capricorn, Moon in Taurus, and clearly with the Sun and Mercury in the second decan of Taurus and that Moon in Taurus. She is going to be, she's interested in her status and going somewhere, climbing the ladder, making money. And she also has Jupiter in Pisces, where it rules. And I like that it's not retrograde. A lot of times we'll see like it's retrograde here, but for her, it's not retrograde. So, and it's also in the Cancer decan where it's exalted. And Mars is coming off at 0 degrees coming out of that Pisces. So we see the Mars Jupiter, which is good for ambition, success in life. And you see, what I like about the Jupiter in Pisces is that she seems like a person who really cares. And this is going to come back to that Capricorn aspect where I said, she's interested in money. And where the difference between maybe a chart like this and someone who's like really interested in making money. I think just looking at this, like she's like a true Pisces person who really cares, is more innocent, cares about people. Maybe she cares about her work. Maybe that's why she's wants to climb the ladder, and it has there's an indication of her making money because she really cares. Oftentimes, Capricorn really cares. You see, the opposite sign of Cancer cares about their work, cares about what they're doing. They're very serious about it. And she does have Neptune, the ruler of that Pisces. So Neptune rules Pisces as well, and we could say it's influencing that Jupiter Mars, that success. Where's your success at? Well, it's in acting and being on stage. And here we have a stellium. Well, they're not really conjunct. They're not that close, but they're in the same sign: the Neptune, Mercury, and Sun. And we can see that that Mars in Pisces is trining the Venus, which is an almost exact aspect, which would be an easy flowing aspect in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. That Jupiter comes back to that Pisces. So we do see some indication here of being an actress. And there is no retrograde as well. So this could be, what's interesting here, because I'm just speculating here. I don't really know that much about entertainment in other countries, but from my understanding, the United States is like the mecca of entertainment, and you often see these retrogrades and these people who have, they're redoing things. They're as if been involved with this for lifetimes over lifetimes. Where here we see like it just seems like an indication that it's new and fresh to her, and you're not going to see that level of ego that you would see from someone who's been doing it for a long time. She has a south node in Libra, ruled by that Venus. Mercury is squaring the nodes. We see that there is, with the south node in Libra, there is some indication of coming from a place of relationships, having to learn lessons around relationships. With that Mercury in Taurus, it may come down to, she's using, you could say it indicates that she's using relationships in order to get to the top. And there's some, the moving too fast with that north node with Mars. Mars is moving towards that north node, really moving fast, maybe moving really fast into that, being a go-getter, trying to accomplish her goals. And there's a need to slow down and integrate her relationships here. So I'm not sure what that means or what that could mean here in the future. Let me know down in the comments if something stands out to you. Be interesting to hear that. She has a Saturn moon in conjunct, so something to do with her work here, and that money again. There's an adjustment that will need to be made at some point. I could see there being, and we could learn more about this, but I could see if I look more at the chart, I could see an indication that there could be a crossroads for her at some point where she will have to make decisions based on relationships and work, her career success. And I'm looking for more indication of that now. Not seeing anything yet. I'll have to come back to that maybe in the future. But that is a mini chart analysis for Nicola Coughlan.